Good evening, humans. Tyrannosaurusmoth here, and welcome to the monthly vlog for November 2022. Let's do this. So let's kick things off with some news, and I'm just going to say this is definitely going to be a shorter news section. I just did not take really good notes, and as I had said last month, I think these are just kind of getting too long, especially with months that have tons going on. And speaking of that, a lot of the overwhelm from last month definitely carried over to here. Yeah, that actually brings me to my first point of news, which is just the absolute deluge of pre-orders that are getting released this past month, certainly, and been ramping up as the month's gone on. Specifically Hasbro, and even specifically the Power Rangers Lightning Collection, where just literally 3 waves, if you can count the deluxe. So yeah, about 3 waves of figures just all of a sudden hitting, and it was can't do this. And yeah, that was a little jarring. So yeah, I didn't know what to do about that, especially because 2 of those waves were slated for next year, and here we are, and just everything's hitting, and yeah, just absolutely crazy. So that added to the overwhelm and just kind of made everything a little more chaotic. So I hope that you were able to navigate and make better, or I guess make the decisions you had to make. Definitely a lot of hard cuts for me, and yeah, there's just a lot of people have just had come up, and it was kind of crazy. So I hope you fared well, and yeah, I guess beyond that, talking about stuff that came up, and again, not a ton of notes here, but first thing came up was Super 7. Put up the pre-order for Ultimates Wave 9. Which is awesome. I always love seeing that. Actually, I didn't even write down who's in that wave. So I can't remember. I don't think I pre-ordered anything from that wave. I think this is finally one that I was kind of okay, I can wait. There's nothing I need in this one. Beyond that, a weird figure. So 5K Toys has been doing a lot of cool pre-orders with just overseas stuff and very unique figures and kind of third-party stuff for stuff that's licensed. And this one's not licensed, but the Berserker Studio Myth Gods Hades Dark pre-order went up, and that is just this big buff barbarian looking dude with really nice metallic purple armor. So that's where it caught my eye. Oh, and some awesome magenta effect pieces. So that definitely caught my eye. I haven't been able to pre-order it yet, but it is on my short list. So I'm definitely excited to see that. And then kind of an announcement, no pre-order is up yet, but for wrestling figures, Mattel Creations, for the Ultimate Editions, they have started doing the Coliseum collection, which is kind of a callback to those very, very early wrestling figures that were just kind of rubbery and in a single pose. So you have the same artwork from those, but now with Ultimate. So literally the complete opposite, all of that articulation that comes with that line, just with classic wrestlers from that era. So the 80s, I think 70s in some cases. So the first wave was Terry Funk and Hulk Hogan, which is cool, but definitely nothing I needed, so I passed on that one. But the one they announced this month was Wave 2, which is Jake the Snake and Ravishing Rick Rude, and absolutely, I definitely need that pack, so I will be buying that wave. I think pre-order goes up probably, I think they said early next year, so it's not even soon, but having that on the docket and kind of aware of it and knowing to save is actually a good thing, especially in light of everything I said at the beginning. And then moving on, and so I think something I did actually 2 videos about, you might have already seen them if you haven't, for a Kickstarter that went up at the beginning of the month for called Edel's Pocket Source. This is a company out of Guadalajara, Mexico, and there's highly articulated, very small, thinking about that big, dinosaurs, so a T-Rex, a Gigantosaurus, a Spinosaurus, and the hybrid, which is the Indominus Rex from Jurassic World. And they all look awesome, and the Kickstarter had a very high goal and didn't meet that, so that ended. But now currently actually still going on as of the recording of this video, and it'll be going on until I think December 15th. they are on Indiegogo. So I'll be including a link to that in the description below if you're interested, or definitely check it out and give them a little bit of your attention. And that's all I have for notes for stuff that came up. I know there was a ton more. Again, just overwhelmed, kind of missed it, and that's news basically through like halfway through the month, and then I just kind of like brain static and lost everything. So that is what that is. But definitely some good stuff came out still without having to cancel stuff. So let's talk about some of my notable acquisitions for the month of November right now. So notable acquisitions for November, and like I said, some good stuff this year despite the overwhelm and all of that. And we're gonna start off actually with, I'm gonna do 4 this month, just because this one I'm excited about for a very specific reason, and that is the G.I. Joe Classified series, Sergeant Slaughter. And I think this was originally slated for early next year, but it's here now. And I'm excited about this because the second I saw this, I was like, okay, plastic combat is definitely happening with the Valaverse version 2 Sergeant Slaughter. So that is going to be a thing. Be getting ready for this soon. So hopefully next couple of weeks, I think, for this one. And overall, I'm just excited to get that one done because they're actually both very good figures, and there's the differences I think are going to have a good amount of nuance, and just they're going to be fun to talk about. So that'll be coming up for a video, and again, the coming weeks. Then we move on to the Dinosaur Battlefield Carnotaurus Warrior. Oh, wow, sorry, pardon me. And this thing's amazing. The review for this is up, so check that out if you haven't. Just incredible figure, is up in a couple of different online shops, and just everything I wanted it to be, which is always good. We move on to one of the 2 wrestling figures I was most anticipating this entire year, and that is the AEW Supreme Malachi Black. It's amazing. This review is also up, so you can check that one out to hear all the details, but just such a good figure. Again, another everything I wanted it to be. So a good month for that sort of thing, I guess, right? So there are those. And then finally, a really big one, we're actually going back to Classified series. This is one of the characters that I was most excited about and knew I wanted right after Crocmaster. Actually, it was probably my second most wanted, and got them both within 6 months of each other. And that is, pardon me, the Serpentor and his chariot. And as you can see, it's a monster. This review is not up yet. I'll be recording that within the next couple of days. And crazy figure. And just, it's next level for Classified series. So definitely excited to talk about that. And so that will be my notable acquisitions for November. So just closing out with some, personal notes and ephemera, etc. And, just standard stuff. So first thing, just general news about the social media chaos going on, and where's everyone going to. And I personally have been off Facebook for probably about a year at this point, maybe more. I have no sense of time anyway at this point, but Twitter was the main place I was if you wanted to find me off of here. And with that being as it is right now, definitely like looking at the alternatives just like everyone else. And so how about you? Like, where are you going, you dear viewer? There's Mastodon, Co-host, Hive, Tumblr is starting to get a bunch of people back on it. So there's so many different things. And personally for me, Hive does not work on my phone, so that's really not an option for me. I know a ton of people, especially in the wrestling world, seem to have been going that direction, but just it can't work for me. So I guess that's not an option for me at the moment anyway. Co-host seems to be the one that like caught my attention the most, but I have no one following me. I can't find anyone that I normally interact with, so that might just be dead in the water. Again, for me personally. And then Mastodon is complicated, kind of literally and figuratively. And I guess if you're on there, let me know, because like I need to follow more people, and B, if you know what's going on, please let me know. I just can't. It's not clicking, and I want something else too, obviously. And kind of looking back on Tumblr more, I need to post more, but I am on there more. So I will be posting. So if you're on Tumblr, look me up. But in any event, for all of that, this kind of kicked me in the butt and let me know that like I need to do a link tree or some other sort of analogous thing to that, to just have all my links in one spot. So I did set up a link tree which has all my links in it, to where you can find me, ways you can support the channel, all that other stuff. So I will be linking that in the description below as well. So you can look at that, and whatever you're on that isn't outside of YouTube and you want to kind of follow me and see where I'm going, what I'm doing, that's the way those will be the ways to do that. So that is that. And beyond that, just again, with the deluge of pre-orders and kind of all the reality setting in of that sort of thing, I'm definitely more actively looking for something like a job. And because again, the kind of various routes I'm going right now just don't pull the weight. They don't bring in the cash I want to have. So looking at jobs for like something like data entry or something like that I can do as a stay-at-home parent in the limited hours that I have for that. So if you have any suggestions, I'm definitely open to that. If you know of anything, but for now I'm looking for something like that, and no luck as of yet, but definitely trying to get out there and find all that sort of stuff. So I guess that's it. That's the end of personal notes and stuff like that, and just that's, I guess, the world and what I'm seeing. So how have you all been? Let me know in the comments. I talked to a number of you on whether it's Twitter, Instagram, etc. So again, I'm very reachable. I'm always around. So yeah, if we haven't spoke, hit me up, say hi. Because I like to know who my viewers are. I want to be making videos that everyone wants to see. Obviously within my wheelhouse, because if I'm just doing stuff to do it, I'm not going to have the same enthusiasm or the same oomph, the same thing that makes me going into it. Obviously, I'm sure you understand. So that is what it is. But again, if you're watching my channel, if you're subscribed, there's probably something that clicked, and I love figuring that out. So so there's that. And then finally, shout outs, of course, all my usuals: my wife Tracy, best friend Joe, Saga, aka the Figure Trap, and Evil Villain, and Nicoletta. Thank you, all of you, for being here. And so I guess that's it. That's all we got for November. We're going to December. December is going to be crazy, obviously, because of holiday and stuff like that. So we'll see what happens. And I'm going to try and time that vlog for probably just before New Year's, and I'm going to try and get my top 13 of the year out as close to the end of the month as possible, because I want to allow for whatever I happen to get for end of winter holiday, whatever you want to call it. So that's everything. So thank you so much for watching. Certainly if you made it this far in, and as always, all these vlogs are just me kind of airing everything out, kind of a chance to get in front of the camera and really talk and kind of interface, show you me instead of just my hands. So thank you for being here, and I hope to see you next month, and certainly throughout the month with all the different various reviews that go up, because a lot of stuff coming up, a lot of Toku dinosaurs, monsters, and wrestling. So so let's talk about it. Let's have some fun. Let's collect some toys. So take care of yourself, take care of those around you, and most importantly, stay weird, simians.